Good morning. Once again, it's my pleasure to interact with you in this continuation session from the previous session of honesty. I believe that through God's grace, we shared something and we learned something also in our sharing. So generally, from the previous session, you had spoken about honesty being the best policy, and I introduced you to a number of proverbs with their originality, ranging from Germany, Chinese, Japan, and since there were 20 proverbs well orchestrated just to talk on honesty, I had mentioned up to 9 previously. I'll just skim through them so that you can catch up those who maybe might not have had the opportunity to view them before we continue. So one was from Germany, and it was saying honesty makes you rich, but she works slowly. Another one similarly from Germany, it says honesty lasts longest. And there was the Japanese, two from Japanese in that particular order. A dying man discovers the honesty with which he was born, and stupidity begins with honesty. There was this Greek proverb also, kind-heartedness and honesty can be expected only from the poor. It's shocking to hear, so anyway. And there was also this Chinese proverb saying faith and dishonesty are other words of uselessness. We also covered on another Chinese proverb, whenever there is profit to be made, then think of honesty. That generally confirms that honesty pays. It rewards and rewards it awesomely. There was this Chinese proverb, you will get farthest with honesty. And a Dutch one, now at number 9, beauty is but dross, it is honesty be lost. And today, sensationally, we are going to cover from number 10 onwards. And number 10 and 11, both are Scottish proverb. Just listen to this. Truth and honesty keep the crown or the cowsy. And you will never be with cynical honesty. Interesting. Number 12 with the English proverb, which is like our daily bread. Honesty is the best policy. Indeed, it's so. It's so famous with us, as we had previously spoke about it. And number 13, beauty and honesty seldom agree. Beauty and honesty seldom agrees. You know, with this one, you can clearly see even from our society, when there is something magnificent, that is where dishonesty lies, because there is a certain kind of gain. So dishonesty and deceit uprouts, shoots up. And that's why they're saying beauty without honesty is like a rose without perfume. In number 14, coming from Danish. Remember, 13 says beauty and honesty seldom agree, an English proverb. And then look at 14, which is Danish now from Denmark. Beauty without honesty is like a rose without perfume. So it just becomes like a logo food. Imagine your life being like a logo food because of just dishonesty. Something that you can practice to adapt to and depict yourself with entirety and wholesomeness of God's grace. Look at this other Danish proverb. Deceit is in haste, but honesty can wait a fair leisure. This is and it's interesting, brothers and sisters, that when you are a liar, it's very fast. It's actually like a span, a flash of a second. You can easily say a lie. That is deceit. But honesty, someone even tries to say, oh, should I or should I not, It's as if somebody is bargaining with his conscience. Whenever you want to say the truth or speak of something that is true, you find yourself like bargaining with yourself in a state of soliloquy, that should I really say the truth? But deceit, somebody just lies. And there are people who are so good at lying, very good, accomplished liars. They will tell you a story that you will believe, truly it is so. Yani they lie with their dry eyes this way. Not even a blink. And you might end up believing. But honesty, sometimes it struggles. It struggles to be emitted, And when you look at this Spanish proverb at number 16, honesty is the best policy. You'll be shocked to learn that the Spanish people and the English people thought the same. Now that means honesty is the best policy is something that is just global, emanating from two countries with the same accord. Now the French proverb says, thrive by honesty or remain poor. Remember when we were talking about honesty from the very beginning of this show, we actually say that honesty brings wealth. What does it mean to thrive? To thrive is actually rising from grass to grace and from grace to grace. That is thriving. If you are honest enough, you will wine and dine with kings and queens. You'll have plenty of the land, because even I personally, even you as my viewer, you'll really cherish a friend who is honest than a deceitful friend, because you will be lied once, twice, the third time, you give up, you throw in the towel, because nobody never gets tired of being lied to. But when somebody is honest, you'll be inviting them. You'll have numerous friends and worthy friends. You will explore new ideas. You will relive your dreams, cherished dreams, just because of being honest. Or just for instance, let me just refer you to a life scenario. Maybe your husband has said that maybe he has traveled to a place like maybe Dubai, Kisumu, but the person is just here in Nairobi, calamitously, and may God forbid you hear that there is an accident, and through survival ways and divine intervention, he survives the accident. But the accident has happened at Mombasa Road, and the person said he was in Dubai. You see how shameful and outrageous it becomes later. And those are the very rewards of deceit and dishonesty. Let's look at this, number 18, an American proverb. Honesty is like an icicle. If once it melts, that is the end of it. Like they say, a drop of ice leads into an avalanche. When heat is introduced to ice melts. So as candle, when a candle melts, you remain with the wax. When ice melts, you remain with water. So when honesty melts, that is it. That is it. You lose all the rewards of it. It's like while you are in employment, you are caught maybe with scandals in the procurement department. Sorry to use that, but Just an example. So you see, when you are caught dishonest, you lose your job. Your image is tarnished. You are in school, you steal exams, you are caught, it is finished. You cannot register elsewhere because you have been placed in black book. Where you are even a citizen, law-abiding citizen, you do dishonest things and you are found in the wrong side of the law, you are imprisoned. Your freedom is gone just because lack of honesty. And you can imagine how crucial honesty can be. Finally, we are at number 20. Cheerfulness, helpfulness, and honesty are fine. Good champions to take with you through life. This is also an American proverb. Because when you are honest, you are less stressed. You are living reality. It is so hard, my friends, to maintain lies, because one lie leads into another, into the birth of the other, and you have to, if you are a custodian of lies, you have to water it, because you are not living your true self. You are not living your life. You have your life which God gave it unto you. You have your talents, and my Q talents are up to 75. I don't think there is somebody who has ever explored all the talents, 75, that God gave him or her. Maybe 1, 2, 3, and all of them are awesome. That is living you. If you try to live a deceitful life in somebody else's shoes, my friend, it will be so difficult. It's a daunting task, because that is not you. Imagine you have to live your own life, you have to live somebody else's life. How hard a task can it be? And that's the fruit of lies and deceit, because you have to maintain it. Mark you, during the maintenance of lies and deceit, at one point you forget that you had lied. So that means that is the point you are caught, because you have to maintain it, you have to water it, you have to nurture it. It has to grow, and lies grow fat, lies grow big, while the truth remains emaciated, skinny, bony, filthy, to the extent that you might say the truth has completely died, shattered and forgotten. But it never dies. The truth never dies. While lies thrive and the truth emanates one day this way, like a flame in dry bush, it spreads like bushfire. Now it, with totality and fatality, destroys all the lies which were just there. So, and that's why, brothers and sisters, friends and relatives in equal measure, I'm humbly beseeching you out there, whatever your ventures, whatever you venture into, whatever you are undertaking, keep in mind that honesty will always remain the best policy. You could be a business person in these hard times of this pandemic. But now, because the doctors have said it is good to live healthy, good, eat healthy meals, now you start bringing these healthy foodstuffs like the arrowroots, commonly known as nduma. But because in Nairobi people rarely have gardens and they rarely plant these things, you start ballooning the price. You bring at a very cheap. I know there is a way you want to get profit, but then don't be so much dishonest to the extent of other bad habits like greed creeping in. That's just but an example. There are so many examples of the merits and demerits of honesty being the best policy. Just try. Sometimes you are in a relationship and it's a distant relationship, but now because they say out of sight, out of mind, become dishonest. Remember what I've just told you. The truth at one point catches up with people. Thank you very much. Stay safe and blessed while you stay at home, while you work from home. Keep enjoying, keep praying to God so that life will flow in a very normal, stable, and He can protect us with His graces. Do utilize your talents well. If you have got something to do, don't just idle, but keep fortifying towards achieving success and goals through this difficult moment. I know it's not easy, brother. I know it's not easy for you, sister, out there, or even for I, but let's keep trying. Let's keep working in tandem with the policies, directives, and adhere to the simple rules that we have been speaking of. Washing your hands with plenty of water and soap, sanitizing regularly, keeping social distance. And interestingly, about this keeping social distance and wearing of mask, there is something that I just want to alert you, my friends. Some people will say, oh, these are my friends, I know them. Of course I know them, now I will not wear the mask. That's wrong analogy, because through that it spreads faster. It's not that because you know people or you know somebody that you should just expose yourself to danger. Remember from my previous talk of spoken words, we said combating an unseen enemy, demon in nature. So don't just breach the social distance rule. Let it be rule of the thumb. Wearing of mask protects you and I from the unseen enemy. Remember, it's not that your friend is the enemy, but the virus which is unseen. Thank you very much. Stay safe and blessed.